So hello guys, welcome. Today we'll see how to make entry in a cargo record book on a chemical tanker for loading. Now on board your ship you might have a different types of record books. Either you might have this Marshall Island, which is most commonly found on ships. Most of the time you will find this kind of a logbook, or you might have this kind of a cargo record book, or some other type of a cargo record book. But mostly the procedure for entries in any cargo record books is generally same. So in all the cargo record books, in the initial or in the beginning, they would give you instruction for entries. Like if you want to make entry for loading of cargo, internal transfer, unloading, you have to follow these instructions and you have to make entries as per them. So as on board, presently on board, we are using this cargo record book. So I'll go by this. But even though if I am to make entry in this record book, the entries are same, the method and everything is same. So inside this record book as well, there are cargo record book instructions which are given, how to fill the cargo record book. And inside this also there are list of items which is given, that which must be recorded into a cargo record book. So this is the list. I have made a Xerox copy of this. I'll be making the entries in a cargo record book with reference to this and showing you side by side how the entries are done. So I made a Xerox of this paper for the entries so that I can keep it over here and we'll make the entries side by side. So first here you can write down the name of your ship, official number, AM number from your ship particulars. Then the date. The date must be recorded in such a format: date, month, year. In such a format it shall be recorded. See, normally there are no guidelines to make entries for cargo record book. There are no such guidelines. There are only guidelines for ORB, oil record book, part 1 and part 2. Only there are guidelines for them. So if you will follow those recommendations which are given in Intertanko book for ORB, those can be same done on the cargo record book. But as per any code or convention, there are no such books which give recommendation or guideline how to make entry in a cargo record book with respect to any loading, discharging, internal transfer or any such thing. So let's begin. First thing is date. So I'll write down today's date when we have loaded the cargo. Code. Here by code they mean this A, B, C, D. So these are called codes. Code A, code B, code C, and so on. Depending upon the type of operation for which you are making the entry, you'll write down the code. So as we are making entry for loading of cargo, I'll write down code A, loading of cargo. Item number. These are item numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is called item number. So I'll refer to this as item number 1, 2, then 3, 4 and so on. So in code A, I'm writing the item number 1. So normally over here for place of loading, we write down berth, terminal, port and country. So as we have loaded the cargo, we'll write down the entry for this is Vopak, berth number 2. Now sometime it might happen that there are no name of the berth, there are only name of the terminal, or vice versa. It's not a problem. Whichever information you have information for berth or terminal, you write down that name and then continue writing your port and country. Always make sure that your entries are in serial wise order. Like we cannot make entry for item number 2 first, then item number 1, then item number 3, then item number 7 or so on. We always has to go in numerical order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we have made entry for item number 1. Next we'll move on to item number 2. Identify tanks. So COT, 2 port. Substance. Identify tanks, then substance. So this is very important, which you must pay attention to. So name of substance, this name is PSN, proper shipping name, or also in BL it is written as IMO name. which is normally written in BL. In bill of lading, they are called as IMO name. So we have to write down the name of the substance which is given, which is the proper shipping name of the substance. For example, if I have to give you a reference, methanol, as you might have heard this name, this is not its proper shipping name. Its proper shipping name is methyl alcohol. You can call it proper shipping name or you can call it IMO name, as you may like, but this is its name, and this name must be present in your certificate of fitness. Please remember this. This is very important, that we have to make sure that whatever name we are writing, name of the substance which we are writing, that must be present in our certificate of fitness or in the addendums. So now continuing with this, name of the substance. So where do we find this name of the substance? From our bill of lading. We'll go to our bill of lading. We'll note down the IMO name, as in bill of lading it is called IMO name. So we'll note down the name and we'll write that name. We'll never write the trade name. For example, methanol is a trade name. Trade name means the name which is normally used in day-to-day basis. So just to show you guys, I've carried my bill of lading. Here they have mentioned in which tank it was loaded. Now here you can see commodity. They have written ethanol 99.9 dB. This is its trade name, or the name we generally write down in stowage plan. But this is not its proper shipping name or IMO name as they call. This is the name, ethyl alcohol. This is the proper shipping name or IMO name which must be present in your certificate of fitness. So we'll look for this one, ethyl alcohol, and same we'll write down this name, ethyl alcohol. Like in this voyage, I had carried cargoes like ethanol 99.9 dB, ethanol 99.9 UN. So all of their proper shipping names are ethyl alcohol. If I have to show you, I'll show you this as well. Here also you can see ethanol 99.9 UN. This is also the trade name, but its proper shipping name is ethyl alcohol. So you can see over here 99.9 dB, 99.9 UN, but their proper shipping names are ethyl alcohol. And same for one more, we have also carried a third kind of ethyl alcohol. So here you can see the trade name was ethyl alcohol pre-cut. This was the trade name, but same for its shipping name or IMO name, it is called as ethyl alcohol, same. So it might happen you have different cargoes with different trade name, but their IMO name might be same. So this is what I wanted to show you. So next we'll write down the entry for that, ethyl alcohol. And next it asks categories. Which category does it fall into? Category X, Y or Z. So this also you can refer from your bill of lading directly, or from your certificate of fitness, or even from your IBC code if you have to. So this is the category. So category Z. So this is one complete entry for loading. You write down the berth, terminal, port, country, write down the tank, write down the proper shipping name or IMO name of the cargo, and the category. And after that, you have to sign, write down your name and date on which you are making the entry. So as I am writing the entry for 21 October, I write down 21 October 2022. So again here also you can see I am making the entry in same format, date, month, year. I am writing the entries in such a format. Now as I mentioned before, that there are no recommendations for making the entries in a cargo record book, but I generally follow which is given in oil record book, so that my practice is similar for writing entries in ORB or CRB. So in Intertanko it is given that first you must sign, then write down your name, rank and then date. This is what it is given in Intertanko, which must be followed in ORB. But as a good practice, I am following the same thing in my cargo record. Now next, in our second example, we'll see what happens if we load more than one cargo. How do we make entry in cargo record book if we load more than one cargo? And also, if the cargo is loaded in more than one tank, what needs to be kept in mind while writing this over here, cargo tank. We'll see that. And third, we'll also see if we have carried a cargo for which the trade name is different, but if their IMO name or proper shipping name is same, then how do we make entry? For example, this over here, ethanol 99.9 UN, ethyl alcohol pre-cut. Both of their trade names are different. They are loaded in different tank, 6 starboard and 9 starboard, but their IMO name would be same. For this also IMO name is ethyl alcohol. For this also the IMO name is ethyl alcohol. So how do we make entry for them as well for different trade names? So let's start the second example. First is date, then code A, then as per serial order, so we'll go as per that. First is place of loading. Item number 1 is place of loading. We'll write down that. Now as over here there was no name of the berth, we only had the name of terminal, hence as you can see I have only mentioned the name of the terminal. Now we'll proceed to item number 2, which is identify tanks, name of substance and category. So we'll start with this. So first our cargo was Saffold 23. So this is the trade name for this cargo. So first we'll identify tank, COT, 5 port, 5 starboard. Now as you can see I have mentioned them separately, 5 port, 5 starboard. So instead there are some people that they would mention them as, which is generally considered as wrong, because some vetting inspector would like you to mention them separately, 5 port, 5 starboard and so on for other cargos as well. For other cargo tank as well, 3 wings should be mentioned, 3 port, 3 starboard, 1 port, 1 starboard, 1 wing. For any such tanks, if we have loaded in multiple tanks, in wing tanks, we don't have to mention them singly, 3 wing, 4 wing, 5 wing. No, we have to mention them separately, 3 port, 3 starboard, 4 port, 4 starboard and so on. So normally this has also been a vetting deficiency, that try to mention the tanks separately. Hence this cargo was loaded in both tanks, so I have mentioned that separately, 5 port, 5 starboard. So next is its IMO name, which I will refer to its bill of lading. So from its bill of lading I got the IMO name. As you can see, this is its trade name, Saffold 23. Its IMO name is completely different than what is mentioned in over here. So we'll write down that. Then next is category of the cargo. So category would be cat, category Y mentioned here, cat Y. So this is one cargo which we have loaded on the same day. Now second cargo which we loaded was this ethanol 99.9 UN ethyl alcohol pre-cut, both in separate tanks. So I'll mention that as well. COT, 6 starboard. So that's the bill of lading for 6 starboard. Here as you can see the commodity is ethyl alcohol pre-cut. This is the trade name and its shipping name is ethyl alcohol. So we'll write down that 6 starboard, COT, category Y. Now next here also you can see we have a cargo with a trade name ethanol 99.9 UN bulk, but its IMO name is also same, ethyl alcohol, and it's loaded in different tanks. So same again, I'll mention that COT, 9 starboard, again it will be same, ethyl alcohol. So this is how we have to make entry for if more than one cargo is loaded in on a particular day, and also if we have loaded in more than one tank, mention them separately. This is what best practice says, then mention them separately, 5 port as I have mentioned over here. And once you have done with your entries, then you can close out by making your sign name in. So that's it about entries in cargo record book with respect to loading. In here I have tried to cover maximum a cargo which is loaded in more than one tank, more than one cargo loaded at same port, then also if for a different trade name but same IMO name, if cargo is loaded, then how do we make entry? For that also I have shown over here. So that's it about cargo record book loading. In my next video we'll see how to make entries for discharging in cargo record book.